Hey guys, we're back at it again, decluttering, and this time we're doing all of my single highlighters. As you can see, I have probably far too many. I really need to get this down. This is gonna be hard for me. I have a special love in my heart for highlighters. I tend to hoard them, but why don't we go ahead and just get on started. So first, I think I'll start with the Becca highlighters, which are these right here. This is a mini in there liquid highlighter. It's in the shade Opal, and it works perfectly fine, I think, but it's just not for me because I am not into this kind of thing. If cream products are more your vibe, I'd go with this than the powder highlights, but yeah, I'm just gonna declutter it. And then I have 4 powder highlights. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I'm not getting rid of any of them. Becca highlights are some of my favorites. They are very pricey at $38 a piece, but I feel like it's worth it and I absolutely love them. So this is actually a limited edition one and I got it off of Beautylish a few months ago. So it has the pretty silver packaging and it's in the shade Parisian Lights. It has an embossed Eiffel Tower in it. So it's really pretty. It's just a really gorgeous pinky highlight with a extreme gold shift. It's super unique in my collection, and if they were to make any highlighter that is limited edition permanent, I would want this one to be, just because I think a lot of people and a lot of skin tones would like this one, so keeping that. This is one I actually finished completely up last year, and it is Champagne Pop. It's a really pretty champagne color, and it works for a lot of skin tones as well. Light to, I'd say, medium. Then I have Moonstone, which is just a really pretty, very, very light champagne color. It's lighter than Champagne Pop is. And the final one is Prosecco Pop, which is just more of a golden highlight. So keeping all 4 of those. And we'll go on to this highlight. It's actually a highlight palette from Sleek. Inside of the compact, I'm sorry if this is blinding, I'll try my best. The top one on this side is actually a cream, and I don't use that one as much. And then the other one on the top is kind of like this pinky lavender color. That one's really blinding and beautiful. And then the one underneath is a pretty champagne color. And then under the cream highlight, this one right here, I don't use as much either. It's just kind of subtle and doesn't do a lot for me, but I do want to keep it because I do think it is a good product, and I do like, you know, 2 shades out of the 4 anyway. The cream is the one I really don't use, but the other ones are good. So I'm gonna keep this, and it's a good drugstore option if you're looking for a drugstore highlighter. This is another drugstore highlighter from Wet n Wild, and it's in the color Precious Petals. In the pan, and when I swatch it, it looks like it would be too much of a deep highlighting shade, but actually I find it works really well. Maybe if I'm super, super, super pale, but if I just blend and buff it out, I find it works really well. This is also really affordable. You can find it at Ulta or drugstores. Keeping that one. This is my only MAC highlighter, and it's in the shade Lightscapade. I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is a good highlight if you like something subtle and if you have a very light skin tone. And it's okay, and I really did like it when I first got it, but as of lately, I haven't been reaching for it, and the packaging is also really annoying. It's just kind of hard to open. It's not the easiest. I wish they would have kept their old packaging, but yeah, I think I'm gonna declutter this one. Right here, I have my Kat Von D Metal Shock eyeshadow in Thunderstruck. Even though this is an eyeshadow, I use it as a highlighter, so that's where I keep it. And it's just a very icy color with kind of like a greenish, goldish shift to it. It's really unique and really beautiful, so I'm gonna keep that one. The only thing about it is that it's a very soft formula, so I've had to repress it multiple times. Right here, I have a Maybelline highlight by Face Studio in the shade Natural. You know what? I never got on board with this highlighter. It's fine, and it's good for the drugstore too, like a big drugstore brand like Maybelline, but for one, I don't know if they even sell these anymore, and for two, I don't know, I just never reach for it. I never think about it, and for that reason, I'm going to get rid of it, but it's not a bad product. This is my favorite highlight of the moment. It's by Anastasia in collaboration with Amrezy, and it's just the Amrezy highlighter. It's just a beautiful, intense, very blinding highlight. Also, the pan, look at that. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a fantastic highlight. If you're into very pigmented highlighters, this is definitely up your alley. You can mute it somewhat, but it's not, you know, it's not very subdued. But it does work for a lot of skin tones as well, and you wouldn't think so in the pan. I'm getting distracted. It is a very versatile highlighter. So that's my favorite as of lately, keeping that. Now this is a little e.l.f. Highlighting palette. I'm pretty sure they still sell this. I believe it's like $6 or $8 I'm at the drugstore, like Target or something. And I never really liked this that much. It's okay, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's very powdery. It's not very pigmented. It's not very even shiny. So for that reason, I'm going to declutter it. But if you're looking for a cheap option that's not very blinding, you might like it, but it's just not my style. Right here, I have Physicians Formula highlighter. It's actually a glitter highlighter, and it's in the same kind of packaging as like a ColourPop Super Shock shadow or something like that. And this is in the shade Pearl. I'm not going to open it just because I don't want to put unnecessary air on it, because it is kind of a creamy to powder consistency. But this one's super blinding as well, but not hard to work with. So I really do like this, and I would recommend it, and I'm going to keep that. This is my Jeffree Star highlighter. I got this last Christmas, and this is in the color Siberian Gold. In the pan, it kind of looks dark, but on the skin, I feel like it comes off a little softer. I really like this highlight. It's by far not my favorite, but it is a good formula, and if you can get past the weirdness about his brand and who he is as a person, I think that you would enjoy this highlight. But I thought it would be more blinding than it actually is, to be honest. But yeah, I really do like this highlight, and I'll be keeping this. It's also a very big pan size, so that's good as well. All the writing is faded off, but this is from Makeup Revolution. It's one of their Vivid Baked highlighters. Now, when I was first using the highlighting trend, and well, it's not really a trend anymore, it's a way of life for me, but when I first started using highlighter in general, this is one of the first ones I got, but it's kind of powdery, not very shiny. It works, and it's kind of more of a natural highlight, so if you're looking for something like that, then this could be for you. But for me, I think I'm just going to pass it along. This is a highlighter by Revlon in the shade Peach Glow, and it has that kind of ombre configuration of it, so you can dip into different parts of the pan to get different color payoff, or just swirl it all together. But I don't know what I was thinking. I think because I wanted to try more drugstore options, but it's just too dark for me, so it doesn't work for me. I mean, it's fine, it's just too dark, so declutter. This is an Ofra highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive, and I got this before they went through their whole rebranding, changing the packaging and all of that. But this is just a really pretty gold color, and I love it. It's a really good formula, easy to work with, blendable, pigmented, love it. Keeping it. This is a duo called Vintage by Jessica Liebskind, I think that's how you say it. I received this in a BoxyCharm a while ago, and so I tried it out for a little while, and it has a more like champagne-y, kind of almost a like brownish colored one, and a more pink one. It just does not work for me. It's too dark in the color, selection. And also, I mean, the shine is there, but it's also kind of powdery. So they're not my favorite, and it's too dark for me anyway, so I'll pass it along and declutter it. This is a Jouer highlighter in the color Rose Gold, and it came out with their Rose Gold collection last summer, I believe. And just like the name says, it's rose gold. I think with more room in my collection after this declutter, I'll reach for it more. It's kind of similar to that first Becca one I showed, the Parisian Lights, but they are different tones. So they're both unique in my collection, so I'll be keeping this one as well. Moving on, I have two Makeup Geek highlighters right here. I have the color Lit as well as Moon Phase. Lit is kind of a light, kind of yellow highlighter, and I mean yellow as in yellow, not like gold or, you know, that kind of color. It's actually similar to one of the colors in the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, which I do have, and I feel like those are better quality than these are, in my opinion. So I'm going to declutter both of them. This is what Moon Phase looks like, and this one comes off as a blue highlighter, so it's like a blue toned highlighter. And again, I also have that in the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, so I don't need both of these. Right here I have a Lorac highlighter in the color Daylight. This highlighter is very gold. It's kind of a powdery texture and pigmented, but because it's a little bit more on the powdery side, it's more of a soft consistency. You can apply it very lightly and it will come off pretty. But there's just something about it that makes me not reach for it, and with the amount of highlighter I have plenty to reach for, so for that reason I'm just going to declutter it onto someone else. This is my Urban Decay highlighter in the color Sin. I really like the consistency of this highlighter. I think it's very, you know, top notch. This is a beautiful light champagne color that gives amazing shine and pigment on your skin. And it just makes you super, super glowy, and that's what I'm into. So I will be keeping this one from Urban Decay. Then I have this ColourPop highlighter. I don't know what the color is off the top of my head. The back is just blank, so I don't remember what color this is, but if I can find it, I will leave it listed down below with all the other highlighters that I talked about. This is the only ColourPop pressed eyeshadow, not pressed eyeshadow, pressed highlighter I've ever used. And I was really looking for like a really icy, just kind of really bright highlighter, and I found this one. And I find that this is pretty damn good quality, if I do say so myself. And it is that very icy, icy color. So when you put it on your cheeks, it doesn't give off any other kind of color than just like, bam, shiny. And I like that about it, so I'll be keeping this one. And I think these are about $7 or something, so pretty affordable. This one is the very popular Mary Luminizer. This is a pretty champagne color as well. A little bit more pigment than the Urban Decay, but this is one of the original highlighters I chose to try out. So I think it's really beautiful on the cheeks, really shiny, really pigmented, buildable. Love it. And then the final one I have is Cindy Luminizer. I don't know what I was thinking, because this is very deep on me. The point where it's almost a blush. So do I keep it and use it as a blush? I think I'm going to keep it, try it as a blush, and if that doesn't work, I'll declutter it. It would be good for deeper skin tones. So this is the final look at the highlighters I'm going to be keeping. And these are the ones I will be decluttering. So I hope you enjoyed this highlight declutter. This was kind of nerve-wracking for me. So I've been saving it and waiting, but I'm glad I finally did it. I'm very happy with what I kept. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also turn on your post notifications with that little bell icon. And we'll see you next time. Bye!